At this time of the year, the flowers are blooming, the grass is green, and the fields are looking lovely for a picnic. Unless, of course, you suffer from hay fever, in which case the picture I've painted sounds like torture to you. But there is help at hand. Hay fever medication can be both inexpensive and easy to use. But let's first touch on what exactly hay fever is and how common it is with our guest today, Fransa from Pick n Pay Pharmacy. I'm sure you get asked about hay fever a lot, Fransa.
A lot, especially this time of the year.
All the time. Just a recap for our viewers, hay fever is a very common condition where your own immune system recognizes harmless particles like dust or pollen as attackers, and your natural response is to cause inflammation, mucus and nasal congestion, just as if you were sick. So you get asked it a lot. I've got sinus. I've got sinus.
Yeah, and hay fever, I'm sneezing all the time. My eyes are itchy.
What's your approach to it?
Well, the first thing we would do is to find out how bad it is. You know, sometimes when they walk in, they're actually sneezing and the eyes are running. And then we'll find out, most people wouldn't know what is the allergen. As you said, it could be a dust particle or it could be pollen. And it's difficult to find out unless you go for specific allergy tests. So, first of all, we would discuss using an antihistamine, because the allergen, the body recognizes it and then the body gives off histamine.
Yes.
And if you take an antihistamine tablet, it's going to stop the process there, because the histamine is causing all these symptoms.
It blocks the reaction to it.
So we will then discuss them using an antihistamine. Are they on anything? Sometimes they would come in and they might be using a nasal spray.
Yes.
And we would recommend and say, but you know, maybe you should use the tablet as well, so that it can work both ways, not just topical on the nasal area, but also in the bloodstream.
Do people tend to use the nasal sprays correctly?
Not always. The antihistamine nasal sprays, most of the time they would use it, spray 1-3 times a day, etc. But we do find that people are not aware of the fact that when they use decongestants to open the blocked nose, that they're only allowed to use it for 5 days.
Yes,
because you get a rebound effect. After the 5 days, if you continue using it, the nose will actually block up the minute you stop using it, and then you want to use it again, and it becomes that ongoing vicious circle. Yes.
And in terms of the complications of allergic rhinitis?
Usually what happens is that you do get congestion because of all the mucus that's produced, and then if you can't get rid of all that mucus, you can find that you get infection. And that's where the problem comes. And then you get sinusitis. Also, from the mucus, we find it often a postnasal drip develops. Goes to the chest, and then they start coughing. Yeah, so there can be complications if you don't do something to stop the mucus production.
And in terms of the sedative properties of antihistamine medication?
Look, lately, always, all the years when I started in pharmacy, you only got your antihistamines that would make you drowsy.
Yes.
But lately they have brought out quite a lot of antihistamines that they don't have that same effect. So you can take those. There are tablets that you can take that won't make you drowsy, and you can actually take it all the time from just before the hay fever season starts, if it's mostly pollen and flowers and that. And you can continue taking it for 3 months or 4 months, the whole period, and you can take a tablet once a day and control the hay fever, that you don't have to end up with all these symptoms.
Thank you so much, Frans, for joining us on Doctor's Orders.
By supporting the Flower Valley Conservation Trust, that's where we found goodness. Pick n Pay, always there for you.